talk about the what ifs. What if they don't fund us? Because they pretty much usually don't. So we're hoping that this year they decide to increase the taxes and we may get some money. But if we don't, what's our game plan?
In terms of the county, we have had an initial meeting with them in terms of looking at FY17 and really looking at almost like a 5-year model. At this point in time, we were informed assume level funding for Dr. Baker's presentation on January the 19th.
So they actually use the words just assume level funding again.
For right now, yes.
Same old, same old.
Mm-hmm. But we do know, though, and we're going to be optimistic until the end.
You go for that.
All right. Mark Taylor is presenting his budget on February the 9th. Prior to that, we are in the process of working with him and his staff to see if we can have a meeting prior to that. But we're hopeful. There are some strategies that they could basically look at. Number one, looking at the local composite index. That did go up from 0.3555 to 0.3617. Over a 2-year period, that means the school division will lose $1.8 million in state funding that we otherwise would have received. We're hopeful at a minimum that piece will be replaced because we have support for that. Also, there may be some opportunities when you look at debt service. You'll remember a couple years ago what they did. They used some of their fund balance to help pay for our capital projects. And then also looking at, is there an opportunity to look at some salary pieces there? So we're in contact with them and we're in discussions.
Okay, but having said that, what would go if they didn't fund us appropriately?
Number one, the mandatory costs, of course, and then the only other 2 items that you have.
I'm not talking about mandatory.
I know, but I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that.
You just got to say it out loud.
You got to say it out loud because it's a priority. The next 2 things that you have, Ms. Blalock, would be number one, your compensation piece that we looked at, which is the 5.2, and then the 4.9, which is your positions and your non-comp. You only have 3 areas, and this is a needs-based budget. It does not even cover all the needs.
Right. That's right.
So you would look at those 3 areas, and it would be the bottom 2 that we talk about.
Well, because I think it's good that we be honest and put it on the table that if the funding doesn't come through as planned, and we have more funding sources than just local, but if the funding doesn't come through as planned and as needed, that we will have to revisit this budget we're looking at, and we won't get the things that we're talking about that could include the compensation. So I think it's important we're very realistic about that. And I just asked that Mr. Braswell and Ms. Grant take it to the supervisors next week and do us proud and let them know this is a needs-based budget, and hopefully this year they will value the school district, the children, and the 24,000 kids, and the biggest entity in the county. And you want to make a good county, make good schools. So.